depriving yourself of carbs, just start having more fruit. Veggies and fruits, once again, is always the healthiest types of carbs. But people don't want to eat veggies all day long, so just start eating a little bit more fruit. Especially if you want to see the scale gradually go up because she is working out, she is gaining more muscle. All right? Good job, Kirsten. Um, Kim, I think you're back, right? How you doing?
I'm good.
All right, so you're back in action.
Yes,
All right, how was your vacation?
it was wonderful.
It was wonderful. Where did you go?
We went to Cancun,
Hmm.
and then I came back, and I still got 90-degree weather. So
Okay. All right.
that's exciting.
How was it dancing with the poppies and all that out there?
um, well, so it was sort of a work trip for my husband, a
Okay.
work trip that they won. So
Oh.
it was a big group
Yeah.
of people there, a bunch of people from Puerto Rico. So they took over the dance floor. So
Okay. All right. All right. So okay. All right. So let me ask you one question. Not trying to put your business out there,
mm,
but did you gain as much weight as you thought, or no?
I
Or you haven't touched the scale
probably
yet?
no, I have.
Okay.
I probably gained maybe no, 5 pounds.
Okay.
But I did my fast. I came off my fast on Tuesday,
Okay.
and so I actually went down 6 pounds.
Okay. So you gained 5 pounds, and you was out in Cancun for almost a week, right?
A little more than a week,
A
yeah.
little bit more than a week. Y'all hear that, ladies? That's more than 7 days. And you gained 5 pounds, but then you just came back, did the fast, and you actually lost six,
Yeah.
right? So what does that mean?
That you right?
I mean, I wasn't trying to look for that, but I'll be right here and there, y'all. But literally, first off, Kim, you did it better than you think because if you ever gain some weight and then you just go into a fast and you actually lost more weight than you gained, that means you was kind of intentional while you was out there. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you probably gained some water weight, whatever the case may be, because you're drinking a little bit more, eating more starches and all that stuff. But you didn't wild out. Let's put it
Yeah,
like that.
I tried to be uh intentional. So I really did try to put like more protein on my plate than anything. Um, but I'll say breakfast gets me. I love me some breakfast. So any type of pancake or French toast or that's my thing. But I also worked out while I was there.
uh. So what was your work? I mean, I'm believe it or not, y'all. When I'm on vacation, I literally on vacation. I do not work out. So what do you do? And like, do you actually go to a gym while you're on vacation or no?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good. Okay, a little bit more discipline than me.
I usually work out 4 days a week. I only worked out 2 days while I was there, so to me that was vacation. Um, and because I know myself, if I don't keep some sort of a consistency, I'll come back and I won't go.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so tell me one full day of the day where you feel like you made the decisions that you wanted to do. You still ate what you wanted, but you still somewhat essentially kept it cute. How did that day look like for you and in Cancun?
Um, so the whole intermittent fasting was out the window.
Of
So
course, of
I
course.
did have, let's say, I think one day I had avocado toast with like a fried or over easy egg. Um, I had to admit, like some of the breakfast meats weren't that tasty, so I would try them, and they weren't what I wanted. So
Yeah.
I had a little bit of bacon, maybe a little piece of sausage. Then for lunch, what did I have? Lunch usually ended up being more like a some sort of taco
Of course.
type thing. So really good like chicken burritos that they would have, and sometimes I couldn't even eat all of it.
Hmm.
And then for dinner probably the most healthy. Sea bass with mashed potatoes and asparagus.
Okay.
So that's a typical.
Okay. And let's say like a day like this, how many drinks you probably think you had throughout the whole course of the day?
While I was there.
While let's say like one example day.
Oh,
Uh,
so I'm gonna say throughout the day, maybe two.
that's okay.
Um,
That's good.
so I don't really drink.
Yes.
So I had one with, I don't even know what was in it, rum or tequila,
Okay.
and then one without.
Okay. And that's
And
good.
that would be about average every day. And
Yeah.
I lean more towards like the fruity, the daiquiri type, pina colada type drinks.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So thank you for sharing, Kim. So the reason why I had her share is because once again, a lot of y'all are plotting and going on vacation in the next 2 to 3 months, right? So Kim knew that at the end of the day, the window's gonna be outside the window, or just throw the window out. Because once again, ladies, if you're making better choices on average every single time you choose to eat, you don't even gotta follow a window. Now, just don't expect to lose a pound. That's context. So what the window does is makes you more intentional with what you're gonna choose to eat. Because a lot of women on this program right now, the reason why we're here today is because we eat emotionally or we eat it off time. We're not eating based off what my body's telling me. So it's not like, hey, you know what? I'm actually hungry as hell at 10 o'clock. Let me eat. It's more like, hey, it's 10 o'clock and I usually go to Starbucks around this time. Let me go to Starbucks. So when you choose to start incorporating more protein on your plate than anything else, right? Let me be a little bit more mindful with my drinks. Okay, if I do decide to have a starch, let me only have a starch earlier during the day. If I choose to have a starch earlier during the day, I can't have a starch later during the day. Or you know what? I know we're gonna go out later during the day, so for breakfast, I'm not gonna get the pancakes and the French toast. I'm gonna go ahead and get the omelet station, right? These tenets that are being provided to you, once you understand the why and then you see how it works and it's being applied for your body, then you should be more confident on vacation, because on vacation the only reason why a lot of people gain weight is because they lose their god mind. Period. When people on vacation, they drink way more than they usually do. For some people, we're drinking on the hour. We're getting margaritas just because, hey, you know what? They start serving alcohol at 10 o'clock. Hey, you know what? It's 1 o'clock and we were around the poolside. We took 3 shots. You know what? It's lunchtime. Now I'm getting a margarita. Now it's dinner time. I'm getting a margarita too. That's 5 drinks. And I'm eating fries just throughout the day. And I did have the grits, or I did have the French toast earlier that day with about a couple mimosas. And I ended off my day with steak and fries. That's how people gain weight. It's not, oh, Trey, you know what? I had one order of fries, I gained weight. No, it's, hey, Trey, I had one order of fries, and oh, you know what? I did forgot that I had a couple mimosas, and you know what? I did have a couple shots at the pool. So as long as you're being mindful of what you're eating, and ironically, all the women who join my program go on vacation and naturally don't drink, they never gain weight on vacation. And they're eating whatever they want. They're eating the passion fruit that's on the side of the road from the little stand. They're eating tacos. They're doing whatever they want. They even getting the pina colada, just, the virgin version. Because when you eat your calories paired with drinking your calories, that's when you really gain weight. But if you say, hey, you know what? Let me keep it cute in one department. I've never been here ever in my life. I've never been in this country. Let me just go ahead and enjoy their cuisines. But I had tequila before, I had whiskey before, I had rum before, so I can get the rum and Diet Coke, or I can get the tequila soda. You're really gonna maintain your weight, okay? But one thing Kim also said is she worked out during that time, so she's keeping her same routine. That way, she's not falling off to the wayside. So Kim likes to work out on vacation. I'm the type where I'm not even gonna waste my time and even think I'm gonna work on vacation because I know how I am. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring a whole lot of swim shorts, because my workout is gonna be every single morning I'm walking the beach. She just wants to keep her workout routine. I'm walking the beach, and sometimes I'll be honest with you, I got tequila in my hand. You don't even know it. Walking the beach with headphones on. So anything, any type of action that you do to try to balance off your weight is gonna work. Just don't allow yourself to go on vacation and you're sitting around all day long and you're getting the big goblet drinks at every single restaurant and you're getting the fries or the potatoes and the starches and don't expect the scales not to shoot up, especially if you've been doing this for over 5 days. Be mindful, okay? Still have your fun, have your cake, and eat it too. But don't go too crazy.
Also, just kept in mind I brought my little sugar-free drink packets
There you go.
so that I could, because I knew I would be like drinking a lot of water, but sometimes I want something more than that, and I was trying not to get the fruity drink every time they came around the pool.
That makes sense. You know? So, ladies, you just got to ultimately know your triggers. You know? Once again, when I was in Egypt last year, my trigger is bread. So, every single time they brought that bread out, I knew I was going to touch it. So, what I had to start doing was saying, hey, I don't want no bread. That's a choice. I can't be mad and not eat something that don't exist. But we know we want that bread, so we allow them to bring it out, and then we tell ourselves, oh, I'm going to stop at a quarter of this bread, and then you know you're going to finish off this whole entire bread by yourself. Or you're going to finish off this whole queso and chips basket by yourself. So make it easier for yourself. Kim likes fruity drinks, so she brought Crystal Light or a variation of that with her. I have Crystal Light literally inside my luggage right now that I know for a fact I didn't put in there this year. It's been in my suitcase for about a year now. But I just fill it up. That way, if I ever wanted a drink other than a tequila soda, I'm just gonna grab my tequila, my Crystal Light, and I can put it inside my drink. Okay? So drinking and eating this crazy starches and the crazy fruits and with the drinks is what make you gain weight. Just not the fact that you're in this different country or different location. All right. And honestly, if you pay attention, if you have a vacation outside the country versus inside the country, you always gain more weight if you go on vacation to a place like Miami than a place like Cancun. Why? Extra manipulation to the food. That's how it works. All right. So just be mindful of those little things. Who I want to talk to? Jocelyn, you busy?
I knew you were gonna pick me.
Yeah, you knew. You felt it, right? How you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
Okay.
I've been behaving myself.
Okay.
So I've had a hard time because I was on track and then I was off track. And yesterday during our call, just kind of talking about options for snacks for me was helpful. And then just kind of that reminder about, because I'm very it's like all or nothing. So just kind of realizing that I'm learning how to basically learn new habits has been helpful. So I've been, just trying to just be back on track. I'm having my tacos for dinner.
With the bread, right?
Pretty good today. I got the protein chips. I didn't love them.
Okay.
But I didn't reach for any cookies or anything like that today. So I've been good.
Okay.
I really appreciated just how I just feel like you don't pass judgment on anyone. And so I really appreciate that because obviously you have your health goals and everything all together. So I just really appreciate that, you haven't passed judgment on me because I've been feeling so kind of chaotic with the snacking and, stuff like that.
Yeah. And I appreciate you for telling me that because once again, ladies, even though I'm not a woman, I work with women so long that I just understand y'all plight. It's really that simple. So Jocelyn is somebody who, once again, she's very consistent, right? But sometimes the snacks get the best of her. So one thing I told her this time around is what I want you to do for this last little extra amount of weight that you're trying to lose, instead of you restricting more, give yourself less restrictions. Because if you give yourself less restrictions, you're gonna notice that when you have a goal and you start seeing the scale drop, you got some momentum, you just naturally going to want to keep it going and you're not gonna self-sabotage. But when we are restricting too much, now we're choking ourselves too much to the point where we're not getting no air. So now when we're gasping, we just gonna get what we want and what we really want. So even like Jocelyn, I was like, she wanted something sweet on an average day. I said, hey, you know what? I want you to get some chips instead. The reason why I told her to get some chips is because anytime you're craving something sweet, what your body really wants is sodium or salt. They just run off the same neurotransmitter. And your body also knows that every single time we get some of these man-made foods, things that come in a bag, box, or barcode, and we open it up, if you pay attention, not only got some sugar in it, it got some sodium in it. But if you just went ahead and nipped it in the bud and just get something that's salty, so like some Wild chips or some Legendary chips or some Quest chips, even though she wasn't too fond of it, I know one thing's for certain, it killed her craving.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not that fun. You're not getting what you want. But that's why I tell y'all the absolute best man-made snack y'all can have is some chips. Them Legendary chips or those Quest chips or them Wild chips. Why? Because after about a quarter of the bag, you don't want to eat that no more. But you're going to notice that you're not craving anything else and your appetite stopped. So try to incorporate that, ladies. Another thing that Jocelyn asked me too, she was like, hey, what can I do to basically stop craving something, just in general? Once again, if you're craving sugar, the human body never craves sugar, it really wants salt. We taught it to expect salt with the sugar that we give it. But you cannot crave something, ladies, that you're not giving to your body. Nobody on earth ever craved alcohol if they never drank alcohol. I've been on this earth for 31 years now. I never one point in my life craved crack. Never tried crack. Never want to try crack. I can only crave something that I have or I allow myself to have, or I start trying to justify why I'm having it or I'm rationalizing it. So if you know sweets are your thing, cool. Sweets are my thing too, by the way. What I like to do is instead of me having a whole lot of sweet items in the house, I have a lot of sweet drinks in my house. So I got some Sprite Zero, even though I know I'm supposed to be drinking a little bit more water. I have a little bit more cran apple from Diet Ocean Spray. I got Diet Lemonade in my house. I got Diet Watermelon juice in my house. And the reason why I got that is because if I go crazy on this whole entire gallon of juice, this whole entire gallon of juice only got 60 calories. That's about 1/4 of whatever sweet treat that you're going to have. So either way, I'm coming out on top. So try to find some drinks that y'all like and keep it in your house. Some of y'all say, oh, Trey, I just drink nothing but water. Okay, that's cool. But then for some odd reason, when your cycle comes around, you're eating every single snack underneath the sun. Try to swap it out with a sweet drink. That way you are still curbing and treating and catering to your sweet tooth, but now without all the crazy extra calories. That's how you really essentially cheat smarter. If your body wants something sweet, you get a sweet drink, it's going to do the same thing. All right?
Oh, there's one more thing. Let me just add real quick that I'm learning, but has been helpful because I pretty much was like, okay, I read everything. I've listened to the calls. I've listened to the videos. So pretty much I know what I need to do. And then if I did something that was outside of the plan, like I remember it was a yogurt parfait I had, and I'm like, oh, it's not what I was supposed to have. I felt like I messed up everything. And that's where I kind of spiraled out of control for like almost that entire weekend. So now I'm kind of like, if I have one thing I'm not supposed to have, it doesn't make up the entire day.
Yes.
It doesn't make up the entire, it doesn't blow everything. So
Yes.
just get back on track as quickly as you can. Don't let it make you spiral, because that's happened to me before, because I'm very much like, this is what I'm supposed to do. If I'm off track, I blew it. But that's not really the case.
Right. And I love the fact that she said that, because I literally spoke to somebody an hour ago. She was like, Trey, I stalled today. I'm mad at myself. I said, why? She said, hey, I went and got my hair done. But before I went in there, I got a double cheeseburger. She got some, Forever Braids or whatever it's called. That takes about 8 to 10 hours. Basically, she left that joint at like 10 o'clock. Okay, cool. And then she was like, hey, Trey, I was hungry as hell. And I didn't want to go to bed hungry. So I decided to get a cheesesteak. But I didn't even eat the bread. I just ate the insides of the cheesesteak. And I'm so mad because I feel like I shouldn't have did that. And I was like, wait, so you're telling me she basically was trying to make me say that you should have went to bed hungry. And I was like, no. If you're hungry outside of your window, I don't care if it's 8 a.m. I don't care if it's 1 a.m. and you just so happen to be up. If you're that hungry, eat. At the end of the day, it's about what you're choosing to eat that matters the most. She got a cheesesteak. We all know we usually want a cheesesteak with the mayo and the ketchup and the mushrooms and the onions and the bread. But she chose not to have the cheesesteak with the worst part, which is the bread. There's nothing wrong with it. Yes, you ate outside your window. But once again, ladies, what I try to teach y'all, these are not rules. These are guidelines. You just so happen to want to fall within the guidelines on an average day. And I gave her an example. Hey, we all know that rent is due on the 1st, right? But if you pay rent on the 2nd, you're not going to get a penalty. You just want to pay it on the 1st. So the same thing applies here when it comes to y'all window. I don't want y'all to live and die by the window. I want you to live and die by what choices are you choosing to eat, period. And once you get a good understanding on that, now you can start extending your window. Okay? But just on an average day, if I'm eating at 10 a.m. and I'm not hungry, then you got to ask yourself, why am I choosing to eat right now? Is there a situation going on? Is there a work brunch going on? Am I out at brunch? Why am I choosing to eat at 10 a.m. and I'm not hungry? That's the issue. The relationship with the food, not the food itself.
I just want to say real quick, I appreciate her saying that because I'm pretty sure everybody on this phone has gone through that process, depending on where you are in your journey, that you ate a piece of Snicker and then you like, oh man, I might as well just go ahead and eat.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's other stuff over there, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So as you can see, ladies, a lot of y'all stories, a lot of these women can relate to it. So that's why I tell y'all, do not beat yourselves up. And that's why I also tell y'all, if you're going to cheat, cheat. Get it out your system now. But of course, I'd rather you cheat with food. Have more rice. I don't care. Have more potatoes. I don't care. It's heck. Have more fries. I'd rather you have the fries, even though they're fried, over the Snickers, and then now you're eating gummy bears, and now you're in cold zone. Eat more meal foods. Have less snacks. If you're gonna cheat, cheat with that. Not with a whole lot of snacks where it's gonna add up quicker. Okay? Just to give y'all an idea. And it's kind of crazy me thinking about it now. But you know what? Let me show y'all how crazy this is. So one of my favorite snacks of all time, like growing up when I was a kid until I was like past a year now, is literally Haribo gummy bears. Right? And then one day, my girl decided to be funny because she knows I was losing weight. And she's like, oh, Trey, I don't want you to lose no more weight. I want you to eat this. So, and she knows that when I have this inside of the house, I have no self-control. It's going down. I'm going to eat it. Now, question is, when? Am I going to eat it at 5 o'clock in the morning? Or am I going to eat it at 9 p.m., right? So now, but then one thing, I was like, you know what? I'm a whole nutritionist, but I knew this is candy, and I was kind of afraid of actually really looking at the nutrition facts. So I never look at the nutrition facts. I just look at the calories, right? All right, boom. So this small, excuse my French, y'all, this small ass little bag, right? 4 ounces. Serving size is only 13 pieces, right? Y'all see the serving. And you see the carbs, 23. But then, once again, this is not even the biggest bag, by the way, y'all. And I usually get the bigger bag. 4 servings per container. So that means 23, but you know what? We can round up 25 times 4. That's 100 grams of carbs coming from this one little snack. And we all know we can finish this bag in less than 30 minutes. And that's just a one of your snacks, right? But just to give y'all context, if I Google potato nutrition facts, a whole entire potato, right? A whole entire potato nutrition facts. You're looking at 33 grams of carbs, 37. 37 minus dietary fiber, 3.8, round up, 4, 33. That means, and y'all see the calories, right? That means I can essentially eat 3 whole full potatoes and expect a better response than if I just eat one bag of Haribos. And then I was like, you know what? Wait, I don't even eat potatoes, so I don't even know why I'm looking at this. Let me look at my favorite. Let me look at Chick-fil-A fries. All right, hold up. It's not even coming up. So Chick-fil-A, and I'm not even going to lie to y'all, large fries. That's what I'm getting. I don't know about y'all. All right. So Chick-fil-A large fry. If I get this, it's going to... Let's see if it's going to show it. About the same amount of calories, 400, right? But the reason why this time, it's not because it's coming from a whole lot of carbs, that fat. Got fat in it. It's fried, right? But if I was somebody who just tracking nothing but carbs, it's only 45 grams of carbs. It's only 45 grams of carbs. So would I rather have a Haribo bag because I'm craving it, or give myself the thing that I told myself I can never really have, especially if I'm trying to lose weight, which is fries. Even though I know for a fact everybody on average enjoy fries and stuff like that more than candy. You might as well save that carbs for the fries. You might as well save that carbs for the fries and the sandwich, Chick-fil-A sandwich. You can have the bread now too, because either way, it still don't count with how much calories and how much carbs you give in your body. Okay? So the worst thing y'all can do is cheat with man-made snacks, candies, ice creams, things like that. Just eat food and live your life. Get the rice and peas with the oxtails. Get a beef patty. It still don't got more carbs in it if you get the rice and peas in the beef patty than one bag of Haribo. Might be almost close, maybe about 80 to 90 grams of carbs, but it's not 100. Okay, ladies? So that's why things like that adds up fast. If you look at M&M's, M&M's got about 40 grams of carbs, about 25 grams of fat. I know that because that's my favorite chocolate snack. Those things add up fast, okay? So try to find a better way to get cater to your sweet tooth. I'd rather y'all get a mango. I'd rather y'all get a banana. I'd rather y'all get some apples than you decide to get some Haribos or you decide to get some crazy snack. Grilled cheese sandwich, yes, stuff like that. I don't care, because that's gonna actually keep you full too. All right, all right. Katisha, how you doing this week? You know you was next.
I'm good. Hello, everyone.
Hey, you want to chime in?
How about? I'm good.
You good?
I haven't been eating in my food has been consistent with steak, chicken, shrimp, and my carbs have been berries, blackberries, strawberries, nasty blueberries.
There you go.
With salad. I did cut up like mangoes in my salad though.
Good.
My salad.
Good.
So that's what it's been.
Okay. Has the scale been trending down?
Yeah.
Good. Period. Okay. And once again, kind of like what Katisha said, ladies, nasty ass blueberries. I'm using, I'm quoting her. Don't eat nothing that y'all don't like. I want y'all to enjoy your food.
I just tried it because I don't know. I just have a love-hate relationship with blueberries, but I try it just to try it, and it just never sits well with me. So I just move on.
So don't have it.
Yeah, I'm just the only thing I'm gonna eat blueberry is my wine.
Blueberry wine.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So look, like even like the blueberries, ladies. Blueberries is the absolute healthiest berry you could put inside your body. But it doesn't mean nothing if you don't enjoy it. So don't have it. Blackberries, raspberries got a little bit more fiber in it. So if you're somebody who needs a little bit more consistent bowel movements, grab some blackberry and raspberries. But also strawberries is the best berry just in general if you're trying to see the scale drop. Because it got less carbs in it. It got a good amount of water in it. It's going to give you more hydration. It got more vitamins in it, etc. So yes, blueberries is great for antioxidant benefits. But if you don't like something, don't have it. And by the way, blueberries already got the most amount of carbs in any berry technically. So if you don't like it, don't have it.
Yeah, I'm not.
All right. Yeah, ladies. I want y'all to eat things that y'all enjoy, not because you feel like you have to or because it's healthy. All right. Thank you for sharing, Lisa. Oh, Katisha. Wait, who? Lisa's on the call too. Who I want to speak to? Lexus, I know you're having a cheat day. Am I messing it up or no?
You talking to this Alexis?
I'm talking to that Alexis. Yes. Yeah.
So the cheat for me is this tequila soda that I allowed myself to have in the middle of the week versus the weekend. But outside of that, I ended up not really cheating. I had gumbo greens again, and then I did a bunless burger. So food choices were fine. I'm still in my window. I just had a drink, and I typically would not have a drink
Okay.
on a random Thursday, but this week has been challenging.
A long week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a funny thing, y'all. I'm not even gonna do it like that. I was about to expose her text thread about her texting me that. And she's like, Trey, look, it was a rough week. She posted me a nice little picture of a nice little good drink. You know? But Lex and ladies, do y'all think y'all getting a tequila soda is a cheat? Y'all see Ashley shaking her head? She know why. No. It's not a cheat. Okay?
But you say don't expect the scale to move if you are going to partake of alcohol, right? Like I still made the best choice that I could for the alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to get to a certain number within the week, so that's why I felt like it was a cheat, because I was trying to really just stay on target. But it's been a rough week, and a drink felt appropriate.
Okay. And sometimes we're grown. Sometimes a shot of tequila is appropriate, right? Sometimes you might need a double. So here's the reason why I say alcohol is not a cheat itself. But this is also why I tell my clients don't expect the scale to drop. So as you can see, Alexis, how many calories are in one shot of alcohol?
97.
97 calories. So ladies, if you decide, and by the way, this is kind of like around the board with tequila, vodka, and whiskey. So if I look at a vodka shot, that's why I say, by the way, these are the best types. See, vodka, 97 calories, right? Boom. That's not that deep. Sometimes it's worth that 97 calories. Jack Daniel's shot by itself, 97 calories. So that's why these are the best, because they got the less carbs. They got no carbs in it, period, and they got the less calories, right? The reason why I tell my clients the days you choose to drink, do not expect the scale to drop, is because, Alexis, when do people usually have a drink? Is it around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock happy hour? Or is it around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock? Usually.
I'd say the happy hour.
Okay. Now.
That would be my regular.
Okay, well, that would be your regular, right?
Right.
If Alexis was still in the streets, what time you having drinks?
Of course it would be later.
Later, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Now, let's say me and Alexis is out and we just cool and vibing. We out. Are we usually stopping at one drink, or we usually having more than two? Or sometimes two?
If it's that kind of night, then it's a a string of them. There'll be
It's a
multiple.
string of them. So we didn't stop at one. We might end up with 2 to 3 plus, give or take, right? Now, Alexis, once we have about 2 to 3 drinks, let's say it's a Friday night, do you think we stop at drinks or we're going to get some food? Or we're going to end up with some food later that day?
Probably gonna end up with some food.
Exactly.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
the alcohol is not the reason why y'all stall. It's what you're doing after the alcohol. That's what makes y'all stall. I had a lot of clients on this program who were like socialites and all that stuff. And I'm not gonna lie to you, a couple of them did have a problem. But guess what? When I told them you can have a drink, you just gotta drink it earlier during the day, like Alexis did. She had a drink around like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Versus later during the day. Now Alexis gave her body more time to metabolize it, which means that, it's 97 calories, 97 calories. She's not wilding out. She stopped at 1. Do you see what I'm saying? So you can essentially have a drink every single day. I'm not giving y'all no ideas. But you can essentially have a drink every single day and expect to lose weight if you're doing it at a certain time. But once we start drinking after 7 o'clock, then that's going to start affecting your circadian rhythm and affecting your sleep-wake cycle. That's why the days, if you pay attention, you went out for drinks later that night, you wake up in the middle of the morning every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. That's not your fault. That's because your body is now metabolizing this drink and what the drink makes your body's circadian rhythm do. So it's the principle of I already know if you get some drinks around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you go to sleep, you're going to wake up around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Now your body's stressed out. Now you're going to go back to sleep. And now the scale's going to be up. Because it wasn't the drink. It's about what the drink makes your body do and how your body reacts to that drink. Okay? So if y'all going to drink around, earlier during the day, let's say happy hour times, 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and you know this drink is not going to make you start ordering things that you're not supposed to order. I mean, hey, if you want to get something, grab some wings, right? Yes, they're fried, but grab some wings. Don't get the wings and fries. Then you're going to realize that, wow, the scale still dropped because I had one drink, or maybe I stopped at 2 with a double. I'm not having a multiple amount of drinks. Okay? That's what gets y'all messed up.
All right, strike my last text. Then I'm still on track.
You're still on track. That's why I pointed it out. Okay?
All right.
Good job. All right?
Thanks.
Of course. And I'm looking at what Gina said. She said I had tequila with sugar-free Fanta, carry-out shrimp, broccoli. Only ate 3 forks of the rice. Yesterday, she went out to a date brunch, and the scale stayed the same. Right? That makes sense because she didn't go too crazy. She only had 1 drink, and she still prioritized protein. As she said, she had a double shot of tequila at 7:30, wings last night, and the scale still dropped. So once again, if you're having it at an adequate time, and you're still getting back on track, and then you're still getting about 6 to 7 to 8 hours of sleep, or you're prioritizing your sleep, and now you're just not eating for no reason, unintentionally, ad libitum, you can still expect the scale to drop. Alcohol is not the issue, just not as healthy, but we all know that. Okay? And by the way, they say for average women, no more than 3 to 4 shots a week, you are in the safe zone. After you start going over 4 shots a week, then you're not in the safe zone. And for men, it's about 6. So what does that mean? If me and Katisha goes out for drinks, we only get 2 drinks on a Friday, tequila sodas. And then I go out with my friends and get 2 drinks at a bar. But then I get another 2 drinks at brunch. Technically, I overdid it. So that's why I'm saying just be more intentional with your drinks. And if you're somebody who naturally like to have a good amount of drinks, space it out. Have a tequila soda, 1 shot. Do not double it up because you do not associate all because you double it up doesn't mean you're not going to get more than 1 drink. So space it out. Let me get a tequila soda. Okay, cool. You know what? Now I want a margarita. I'm going to allow myself to have a margarita. Cool. After that margarita, now I'm having another tequila soda. You're just going to realize that you're not going to be drinking as much and you're going to cut back on the calories because you're not really enjoying this tequila soda. You just like the act of drinking and the environment you're drinking in. You don't care for the actual drink itself, especially when you take out all the extra additives. All All right, ladies, thank y'all for sharing. Other than that, do anybody got? You know what, Cherie, how you doing today? Yeah, I got a call on you.
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great, Cherie. How was your week?
Oh, it was a rough one this week. Well, we fought a little bit. Well, I fought you, but to
She
make
was
it through,
fighting me for her life, y'all. But keep going.
I'm sorry.
I said you was fighting me for your life.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah,
I didn't like I had choices or options or anything because everything I suggested, you were like, it's a no. I mean, it's a yes because you got free will, but it's really a no. So eat this burger or nah. And then I was like, all right, or nah. And you were like, but eat the burger.
right. And when you did decide to have the burger, what happened to the scale every single day you had a burger?
It did drop. So I am gonna approach the weight I wanted to approach exactly on my 30th day. So that's great. But I'm not gonna lie, mentally it was a challenge because obviously I don't eat a lot of vegetables, and then I naturally don't eat a lot, so I'm eating heavier and a lot more than I want to, and then I'm eating things that I don't necessarily want to eat every day. But you have to have some level of consistency with that.
Thank
So
yeah.
so thanks.
So you know what? And I didn't even want to put you on the spot for that. I want to commend you because now you're kind of seeing what I'm talking about. So, you know what, Cherie? Just so the group can hear it, tell me what was the things that you was naturally asking me. Can I just have for a whole entire day? By the way.
Oh, I was asking about hibachi. I asked about a deli sandwich that was lettuce wrapped. Um, and I forgot the other thing. But then I know I just asked you, can I go to a Brazilian steakhouse?
And what did I say with the Brazilian steakhouse?
You were like, go for it. It's about time.
And why did I say that?
Because it's basically all protein, and I'm probably gonna eat what I'm supposed to eat in the amount anyway.
In the amount, anyways. Right? So now, Cherie, why? And this is why, ladies, it's imperative for you to really like understand what I'm trying to make y'all do. Cherie is somebody where you give her 4 nuggets a day, she's happy. She don't got to eat nothing else for the rest of the day. So even when she was saying things like the deli sandwich and stuff, Cherie, how many times on an average day you eat more than once?
I really don't.
Exactly.
I don't.
Right? So she do not eat. Period. Now, why? Granted, Cherie, why you don't eat more than one day meal a day on average?
Because most days I typically only eat on my lunch, and by
Exactly.
the time I get home, it's late, and I'm just ready to go to bed.
So she's too busy to really eat. She don't got time to eat, right? So if Cherie that was somebody who wanted that deli sandwich early during the day, but even if she wasn't following the window, one thing I learned about her, she probably still wouldn't eat, and I gave her the opportunity to, because she's just not hungry. She don't have the energy or drive to eat. So if you're somebody who chooses to, I'm not even gonna say choose. If you're somebody that you notice that I'm good after eating one meal a day, you have to eat beef, red meat, things like that, because now you're giving your body more calories and more bang for your buck. But now, for all my ladies who says I don't want to eat red meat every single day, like Charisse, right? Then you don't have to eat just red meat, but you got to give your body some variety. You gotta have some chicken and some shrimp. You gotta eat at least 2 meals a day and a snack, because these are leaner cuts of meat. You see what I'm saying? So if you never want to eat red meat ever again in your life, I got a good amount of pescatarians on my diet or on my program. They eat at least 2 meals a day and a snack. If you was doing that, I'm not gonna say stop doing that. But naturally, you only eat one. Okay? And once again, pescatarian diet is in theory the healthiest diet on earth. The reason why is because it lowers your cholesterol. You gain your omega 3s in. It got a lot of micronutrients in it. Got the same fat soluble vitamins in it as beef, but it's not as heavy as beef. But if you're somebody that you know, okay, I don't even got time to eat, you know what? Somebody pissed me off or I get pissed off later during the day, I don't want to eat later, then you have to eat a little bit more red meat. Because now, if you choose not to eat, it's not that deep. But if you only had chicken and then you choose not to eat, now it is that deep. Okay? The very last thing I want all of y'all to pay attention to too is make sure y'all getting enough fiber, ladies. And we get our fiber from what? Veggies. So you notice how Sheree naturally said, I don't eat a lot of veggies. I just did this course with another like gut doctor or whatever. And we was taught that, probiotics help you, get that good gut bacteria in it. But you know what works better than probiotics? Y'all gonna laugh at me. But y'all eating a variety of foods, variety of veggies, like a salad. But he also said, but he happened to be white, no dressing. And who the hell wants to eat a salad with no dressing? So you just got to know your people, right? But if you incorporate a little bit more veggies, a little bit more varieties, some fruit, don't just keep picking up the same string beans. Don't just keep picking up the same black beans. You know what? Today, let me try some kidney beans. You know what? Let me actually have some cannoli beans. You know what? Let me actually have some pinto beans. You know what? Let me decide to have some arugula today. That is what builds your good gut bacteria. And by the way, if your good gut bacteria is where it needs to be, you're going to be less sick. Because 77% of your immune system is lining the gut. So it's ironic how all the people who are usually sickly, they got gut issues. So you got to take care of your gut, ladies. And the best way to take care of it is feeding your gut. And guess how you feed our gut? It's not going to be the protein. That's feeding yourself. The veggies feed the gut. That's why I tell y'all I want y'all to have some veggies too. Do not be afraid of veggies. Just have two different sources of protein. So now you're getting the best of both worlds. All right? All right, man. I'm done rapping though. Do anybody got any questions before I end this call? Speak now, or ever hold your peace.
Hey Trey, it's Nicole.
Hey Nicole, how you doing?
All right, and you?
I'm good. I'm good.
So, quick question. I know before I had gotten a granola, a protein-based granola from Amazon, and they hadn't been carrying it. I think they discontinued it when I went last year to reorder it. Do you have any suggestions on
Granola.
Granola? Because I do the Catalina Crunch. I crunch that up into my yogurt, but I need a change.
There you go, right here. Sola.
Okay, I'll take a screenshot. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, so Sola is the best granola I've seen on the market. And ladies, keep in mind, majority of granola, and you know what? Just so I can show you what I'm talking about. All because it's marketed as, keto granola, all that. I don't care about that. You still got to read the label because you're going to realize that some of these companies masquerade as keto, and even though it's not a keto program, but they know that when you see keto, you're not going to do your due diligence. You're not going to look at the label anymore. Okay? So, if you look at something like granola, you're always going to realize that the serving size is very small. Why? Majority of granola is composed of a whole lot of, when it's keto, quote unquote, it's going to be a whole lot of nuts in it. Nuts are healthy. Nuts help you gain weight too. Period. So if you pay attention, it says for 1/3 of a cup, which is not a lot at all. 15 grams of fat, 7 grams of carbs, because 10 grams of carbs, dietary fiber 3, 10 minus 3 is 7. 3 grams of protein. Not that great. Okay? Now, this is something where you can have where you're like, I don't care if the scale don't drop, and you know what? I might need a bowel movement. I would say go ahead and get something like this. But now, the reason why I told her to get the Sola granola, because they just use a little bit better ingredients. Let's see, look at this one. It got less calories already. I seen that. So this is for 2/3 of a cup. So that means if you make it 1/3 compared to 2/3, it's at 140 calories. There's got 11 grams of fat, so already got 4 grams less of fat. It got a little bit more carbs. So once again, ladies, carbs is not the issue. It's about where the carbs is coming from, right? But then it got more grams of protein. 8 grams of protein compared to 2. So at the end of the day, it's about, can I get more protein? And even though it might come with some carbs, where the carbs is coming from. Okay? So Sola on average is going to be the best, and it's gluten free, and it's going to be a little bit easy on your gut. And as you can see, it still contains some almonds, but this is going to be a little bit better. Sola. Okay? Just be mindful with the additions that y'all do to food. I promise y'all one thing. If you ever decided that you was at your wit's end, the scale's not dropping as much as you want, and you say, you know what, I'm not going to eat no snacks. I'm going to just eat dried chicken, put some seasoning on it, no sauces, and a side of whatever vegetable I want. I promise you the scale's going to drop every single day. Y'all not going to do that because now you're not enjoying your food. But sometimes we got to dumb it down to figure out what our body's really responding to. So have a phase, if you've been stalling, to cut out some of your favorite things where in the back of your head, you know this might be causing me to stall, but because this is something that you enjoy so much, you're not willing to cut it out. The only time body fat is stubborn is when we're choosing to be stubborn and not cut out the thing that we know we're supposed to be cutting out. Like me, my protein ice cream. You just gotta be real with yourself, okay? So start writing things down, see how the scale's trending, and once again, all because you ate something on Saturday doesn't mean that, oh, Trey, I ate something on Saturday and I'm still stalling on Wednesday and Thursday. Your body doesn't work like that. If you're stalling for a reason. It's something else that happened because your body metabolized what you ate on Saturday by Sunday. So don't blame something from 3 days back unless you're on your cycle. All right? Other than that, thank y'all for making this call and enjoy the rest of y'all night, ladies. I'll speak to y'all soon. All right, bye.